Good evening, everyone. Um, I wanted to talk about income tax. This is the season now for income tax. Um, all who has come, I thank you for coming. I welcome you to my channel. So now let's get right into it. This is income tax season, and I want to discuss or talk about life changing events of my income tax. This is the season for that. And so, with my experience about income tax, this is only my own personal life changing event of doing my taxes. Well, now I did my taxes for years. And because of that, I mean, keeping it simple, it was pretty easy to do. And so every year I would do my own income tax. And so one year I said to myself, I'm kind of tired of doing my own taxes because when you file your taxes, you can get it back in 6 weeks or whatever. And during that time, when you did your own taxes, no doubt you would get it back in about 6 weeks. So I had been hearing some things about, oh, you can get it in a day, you can get it in 2 days, you can get it in 3 days. So I said to myself, I said, well, I like to try that. I like to get mines back in about a day to 2 days. So after all that time, I'm doing my own taxes because when you do it yourself, it's 6 weeks. I don't know, it might be 8 weeks now. I don't even know. But during my time, when I was doing my own income tax, it was 6 weeks. So once I filled it out, I would have to wait 6 weeks for payment. So one year, I decided, hey, I want to get mine back in a day to 2 days. So with that in mind, that year of receiving, the form, that the company give you to fill out your taxes, they give that form to you to get it done, and that's your tax statement to take uh, to your H&R Block or whoever does it for you. But I did it myself. So when I decided that year, well, no, I don't feel like doing it. It's a hassle. It's tedious. You got to make sure every line is filled and everything is correct. And then you have to make sure at the end you sign your name. So what happened was I began to that year when I made up my mind, I said, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do it myself. So I received my statement. They said this year you would be receiving a statement around about the 27th. Back in my time, it was around about the 15th. That was then. This is now. So anyway, I got my statement, and I said, "Well, no, I'm not gonna fill it out. I'm gonna take it in, and I'm gonna let them do it for me." So I did. I taken my own statement in and had them to fill it out and everything, and you know, you have to be there with them to do the statement and filling out the W-2 and everything. And so, having, to go over it, I answered all the questions. And, at the end, I usually get insurance. But when I do it myself, there's no insurance to be received. But when they fill it out for me, they ask me, do you want to take out insurance just in case something comes back indifferent or incorrect? They would be responsible. So I thought that was a good thing to have that type of insurance. So I said, yeah, sure. I like to have that insurance. It's a pretty penny, but it's worth it. So I let them take care of that. They filled it out and and they checked over everything, and I signed off on it and everything. And lo and behold, I went back. uh, the next day to work. And when I did, they were saying that something was wrong with the form that they had given us. I say, what? Well, I done already sent mine off. And they came back and said, all those who have sent it off, that's fine, it's okay. But the ones who haven't, that is a correction on there that needs to be done. I said, well, what? A correction? I don't know if that's going to. So what it was, they had put the X not in the box, but close to the deceased box, saying that you are deceased. And I was just, this is another one of these life changing events that I talk about that I have experienced. And so, because of that, I'm saying, oh my goodness, they're going to have me dead. And so, I wondered about that. I had told him, I said, I already feel mine. I already have my taxes already done. It's on its way back to me. And they said, well, if that's all right, you have if it has been done, you've done it and sent it off, or that's okay. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, not that I had filled it out myself this year, because I decided not to. I said, well, I had paid the insurance for if anything was wrong with it, they would be, liable for it. So then in 2 days, I had received my completion of my check. So I went and picked it up and everything. And so I asked the lady, I say, they informed us that the X was not in the box, in the correct box, but it was so close to deceased until the system might pick it up as the individual is dead. And the lady said, oh, well, everything was fine. Here, I got your check here. Everything was okay. No, you're not deceased. And so, with that in mind, I said, okay, my insurance had covered me. Whatever the issue was that I had paid, for my insurance, that if anything went wrong. And so, I am so grateful to the Lord that year. The Lord prompted me to, hey, it was time for you to let go. Let someone else do all them taxes and them numbers and figuring out which line and which number go on which line and which amount and this and that. And so, see, God can do some wonders for you when you let go and let God. Over the years, I had done my own taxes, but it had become a little difficult. Some things, the income tax laws had changed, and there are some things that I didn't want to deal with or I didn't know of. So I turned it over to them, and He worked it out. Praise God. And that's what it was. There was no problem. There was no problem on my behalf that I had to suffer. They had covered it. I wasn't dead. That X. But if I had filled out my own taxes, that what would have shown up. That is what would have came back. That I was, deceased because of that X. And our job had warned us the next day that is the error that was on the form. And so that year early, I had decided I'm tired of doing taxes. I'm going to let the pros do it. And they did a very good job. So I was grateful and thankful because the Lord had prompted me to just let it go. This year is just don't even work on it. Just let the pros handle it. So I did just that. I let the pros handle it. So see, this is another one of my life changing events that I encountered to because every year it's tax season, tax time, and they covered me. They caught the error. They seen where that X was so close to the box of deceased, and so I had covered it through by getting the insurance to take care of any problem that they would have encountered or anything that came up. And so that was my life changing experience. And so, see, when God prompts you to don't worry, or do this, do that. Hey, do it. It's in your favor. So it was in my favor. And because of that, I was saved by the bell. I was saved by the word of God, really. And so, because I had been hearing about you can get it back in a day or two, didn't have to take long as 6 weeks like I had been doing 6 weeks. And it was true. You can get it back during that time. I don't know what's going on today, but during that time, get it back in a day or two, and you'll be finished with all that. Didn't have to wait a whole big 6 weeks. So I was grateful unto the Lord. And sometime if you obey Him when He tell or say something to you, He tell you to do something. Think about it. Think about it. It's all for a good reason, a good cause. And just that little one error would have made a great mistake if I had to fill out those taxes myself. So I just let the pros handle it because it was beginning to get complicated. I started adding on a business of my own, and I said, some of this is, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I let the pros take care of it, and I thank God for it. And so I just wanted to bring that to you. One of my life experiences, changing experience in my life that happened. And if I had to take heed to God's warning, I would have perhaps made a big boo boo on my own. But he guided me and prompted me to just keep the faith, stay on the straight and narrow, let the pros handle some things, and I was grateful. Oh yeah, I received it back in one day. It was the next day. The next day, I went one day and turned it in, and the next, well, it was like a Friday. I think I turned it in on a Friday to the tax pros, and that Sunday they called me and you can come get your check. So I was grateful. I didn't have to wait 6 weeks like I had been doing. 6 whole weeks. That made the difference. Made a difference. So think about it. It was a life-changing experience for me. And so now I let the pros take care of it. I pay my insurance that will cover me if there's any error come up. I won't have to go in and justify it. They know what they're doing, and they will take care of it for me. So get that insurance. It helps. It helps. So I thank you for coming. I thank you for listening to me, listening. And it's been nice talking with you. I'll have some other little tidbits of life-changing events that taken place with me. And so it's good to get some of this conversation, have some of this good conversation, and it's good. It's good for the soul. I know it's good for my soul to release and let go some of the things that, I feel that is so close, dear, and near to my heart, that these changes of events that has taken place in my life, it means something. I think it means something. And maybe it'll help someone just, you yourself might have been doing your own taxes for years and years, and now it's time for a switch. Turn it over to the pros. Let them work it out. Let them go over some things. And so everything was fine. Everything was okay. So I was pretty happy about it. Uh, and so I let the pros handle it, especially when I, began to have my own company, my own business. Some things that I just kept record of, all my spendings, whatever I bought, whatever I did, mileage and all. So again, I want to say thank you for coming. I appreciate you. I love you, and God love you too. I tell you, you have a blessed evening and a wonderful night. Take care until we see each other again. Goodbye.